Hello, I'm Andrei from LCTairsoft Workshop, and this is LCTairsoft PKP Pecheneg. Hi friends, welcome to the second video about this LCTairsoft PKP Pecheneg. In this video I would like to tell you about the tuning, the modifications I did to this gun. This is my own gun, so I try things, I try to do as much as I can in my spare time. So basically the external tuning of this gun is quite simple. I have this front grip made by dice made in Russia. I had to modify it a little bit to fit as it is made to the specs of the real steel PKP. Also I have here the parts from the SSO PKM sling. The one I found very comfortable, very good. It's it's built for that. So I use basic things, but they are greatly working. On the other side, of the gun, I have here a fake ammo belt, deactivated rounds, and underneath I hide my wiring towards the box magazine. So I also did the rewiring of the box magazine. I will explain you a bit later. I have only one MT60 connector, if I remember correctly, with the 3 pins, and that is basically all what I was changing on the outside of this gun. What do I really like about LCT PKP? The disassembly, the field strip is almost identical to the real steel PKP. To mention about the real steel PKP, I have found this great YouTube channel in Russian, okay, but the things are self-explanatory. The videos are very detailed and they explain all about the real firearms, all the internals, the disassembly, the technical stuff. Very interesting channel. I will put them in the video description. So let me show you a quick field strip. I have to remove the bullet belt. I have to release the wiring so they don't mess with the disassembly process. Now, like on the real gun, you just push the barrel retainers through. It's a bit hard, but it goes by hand. Sometimes I need to use tools. Pull the barrel forward. You have your outer barrel, inner barrel Hopup assembly. You have your body. Now I want to remove this gas block. Why? Because I did some modification to it too, and I want to show you those modifications. Just slide it. It's handy to use the tools. This is the gas block. Then I will put that aside. I have to remove 4 more screws now. So this golden thing is the connector that connects your gearbox and the Hopup chamber and lines them up. You will have to remove two screws from that one, and also there are 2 screws underneath, just over here between the trigger guard and the box magazine. Those 2 are keeping the gearbox in place, so I will quickly remove those, and also I will remove this side part so I can pull my cables through it. I just use the 2mm Allen key, remove the retainer. I have to be quick because My flash card on the camera is quite small. I just pull it forward, push it a little bit and pull it through. Also, this is the connector. Now it will be easier if I remove the magazine. I detach the magazine. Okay, put them aside. Put this aside so it doesn't interfere the view. Pull the handle backwards, the charging handle. Remove the tiny screw here. Okay, this is also removed. Now I can pull through the wiring, and then I will need to remove these two screws here. Very easy. That's basically all you have to do to remove the gearbox. Now open the top cover. Mine is quite sturdy. Push the gearbox a little bit forward, pull up the back part, and also I have to remove the spring, the BB guide, because I did some modifications that I put the MOSFET in it, and I have to really remove it from its place a little bit, so I can easily slide my MOSFET inside. Let me put it back, close it, and put it aside. So a quick word, why did I wanted to remove, to show you this gas block. So basically what I did here, I made a hole here. Why? Because when I'm using the MOSFET, there was not enough space to put the full MOSFET and the wires inside the body without removing it. So now, basically, when I put my gearbox back, this part slides nicely here. So I have a couple of centimeters more of playing. So now this distance is very short, and I can lose about 3 centimeters of the wiring inside this gas block. Would be nice if it came with this whole prefabricated. So the front set. Obviously, in the front set, what you can do is to change your barrel and the Hopup chamber. It's held inside by 2 grub screws, tiny ones, 1.5 millimeter Allen key, if I remember correctly. One on the top and one underneath. Oop, that's free. So this is the inner barrel assembly with the Hopup unit. The standard inner barrel is 565 millimeter long. The one from LCT is of 0.2 millimeter, quite good, but I have changed it to lambda 5 605 millimeter diameter stainless steel barrel, very high quality, and the Hopup chamber is the Bullgear one. So as you can see, I had to file it down a little bit, have to remove some metal so it fits inside the outer barrel. Otherwise it was too tight, it was not fitting quite good. What is the benefit of using the Bullgear Hopup chamber? You can use the standard bucking knob to push your bucking inside the opening, inside the window. So I will not disassemble it. The installation is quite easy. The only remark is you might need to sand it down a little bit to let it fit in the outer barrel. Otherwise the installation is self-explanatory. I am using here the maple leaf, standard maple leaf AEG 60 degree bucking with the omega knob. And now let me just show you a closer look on what is the difference between the Bullgear Hopup unit and LCT Hopup unit. So LCT one is basically the same design as A and K. You have here the round hole to put your Hopup tensioner. So basically you take the normal Hopup tensioner, the cylindrical one, and you put it vertically in here, so you don't have a control on the surface of how it pushes against the backing. With the Bullgear one, I will not remove it, I will not disassemble it, but with the Bullgear one you have actually the normal window and the small arm that goes up and down here when you turn the dial. If you turn it right clockwise, the arm is going up, and you turn it counterclockwise, the arm is going down, meaning pushing your Hopup tensioner downwards, giving more hope to your BBs. Now let me demonstrate you how to disassemble the box magazine. Why? Because I did rewired it completely, and I want to show you the full electrical part of what I did to my box magazine and the gearbox. So basically you need to remove these 4 screws. In normal operations in the field I use some electrical tape over it so they don't catch up grass and other things. So now with the screws removed, we just open the box magazine, remove this metal shield that covers the motor, and pull up the insert. So what I did here, I have installed the power regulator. So if I use the 7.4 LiPo battery or 11.1 LiPo battery, the voltage put on the motor here will always be reduced to 6 volt. So also I have installed here two-way action press button here, and in normal unpressed or released state it connects the motor wires towards this motor, and in pressed state it connects the battery towards this motor. So basically why do I use it? I can just load the magazine at the start of the game, then push the button here, the motor will wind up some BBs in the feeding tube, and that's it. And then once I pull the trigger, the motor from the gearbox is connected to here, so the motor of the box magazine will also turn and work from the same trigger pull. The gearbox, I will not go and open the gearbox. It's pretty standard things that I do here. I have installed the Prometheus Max Torque gear sets. I have installed the LCT S1 speed motor, very crazy one. I blew up my EBB gearbox the first time when I put this motor with the EBB gearbox on 11.1 volt LiPo battery. Also I have the nozzle and the cylinder head made by Combat Union, also made in Russia, but all the rest is pretty standard, shimmed, angle of engagement corrected, that's it. The most interesting part is the wires. I have here this Gate Electronics X ISR MOSFET installed, and from this MOSFET basically I pulled 3 wires towards this MT60, I believe it's the correct name, connector. Let me attach the electrical scheme to give you an idea how it is working. Now let me give you a short explanation about the electrical scheme I've been using for this machine gun. So on this scheme you can see the principal scheme actually. Basically M1 is the motor of the gearbox, M2 is the motor of the box magazine. This unit here is the voltage regulator, L7806. This unit here is the MOSFET. I made this scheme for the Gate Nano ISR MOSFET, where you have the separate trigger contacts. But this scheme can be easily adopted for any other gate MOSFET and probably the MOSFETs of the other brands. So as you can see on the MOSFET, the battery positive and the motor positive connectors are bridged, so this MOSFET is working on the negative part of the circuit. The main idea is if this switch, they call it SPDT switch, if this switch is not pressed, so it closes one of the circuits that I give, basically the current is going through this box magazine motor only in case if there is a current going over the main motor of the gearbox. So once you pull the trigger, short the contacts here, you have the closed circuit in this area. Once you push this button, it connects the external circuit, meaning that the current will flow through the box magazine motor but not through the gearbox motor. So let me demonstrate you the workings. Can be a bit noisy, but should not be a problem. So I connect the gearbox, I connect the box magazine and the battery. So this switch is now open, so the circuit from the gearbox is connected. Once I pull the trigger here, I have the motor turning over here. So if I need to pull some BBs to the feeding tube here, I just push the trigger and you see it works like this. Then when I have enough BBs in the feeding tube, I just continue shooting normal with the trigger. So this will be it for today. I did show you the basic things, the basic tuning I did to my gun. If you want to know more details, don't hesitate to ask questions in the comments under the video. Also, if you have some ideas maybe for the third part of this video, please send me what you think about, and maybe there will be a third video about this gun if I have enough suggestions for you, enough interesting questions for you to put in a new video. The next video will be about the LCT EBB kit that I use in my LCT AK-74SU gun. It doesn't have enough rounds as I wanted to pull through. I wanted to do first 5,000 rounds and then open the gearbox, but yeah, it's also good if I do it the same on the 3,500 rounds. So if you want to refresh some knowledge about that EBB kit and what I did to it, you can click on this video. And if you want to see the first part of the review about this LCTairsoft PKP Pecheneg, you can click on this video. And of course, like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, on YouTube and on the Facebook, and I'm always open for your suggestions. See you guys!